Understanding your family blueprint. What are family systems? All right, let's get straight to it. We need to talk about your family, and more than that, we need to talk about your family as a system. What does that mean? A family system. Well, think of it like a mobile hanging over a baby's crib. If you touch one part of that mobile, all the other parts move too, don't they? Your family works just like that. Every single person, every single relationship is connected. What one person does or doesn't do affects everyone else in that family unit. It's a web of connections, and you're right in the middle of it. Your family was your very first classroom for life. Think about that. It's where you learned the basics about relationships. You learned how to communicate, or maybe how not to communicate. You learned how to show love, or perhaps you saw a version of love that wasn't so healthy. You learned how to deal with anger, sadness, and joy, all by watching and interacting with your family members. These early lessons are powerful. They dig in deep and become the foundation for how you see the world and how you see yourself. These are formative experiences, folks. Now, when we talk about mental health, we're not just talking about avoiding a diagnosis. That's part of it, sure. But real mental health is about your overall well-being. It's about feeling strong and capable. It's about being able to handle the curveballs life throws at you without falling apart. And guess what? Your family system plays a gigantic role in this. It can be your greatest source of strength, your emotional rock, or let's be brutally honest, it can be the source of some of your deepest wounds and ongoing stress. So it's time to take a good, hard look at your family's dynamics. What are the patterns of how you all interact? Are they patterns that build people up? Or are they patterns that tear people down? Do you feel supported, or do you feel constantly on edge? Recognizing these dynamics is the first crucial step. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So are you ready to acknowledge what's really going on? Because understanding your family blueprint is key to understanding yourself and your mental health journey. Let's talk about what happens when things go right in a family. When you have a supportive family, it's like having a built-in safety net for your mind. These are the families where you feel genuinely safe. You feel loved for who you are, flaws and all. You feel accepted, understood, and valued. This sense of security is not just nice to have, it's absolutely fundamental for good mental well-being. It's the fertile ground where a healthy mind can truly grow and flourish. This isn't some fairy tale, this is what solid support looks like. In a nurturing family environment, you learn healthy ways to cope with life's inevitable stresses. You see your parents, your siblings, or other relatives handle challenges with a level head. You learn that it's okay to talk about your feelings, even the tough ones. You learn that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. These are vital life skills, people. If you don't pick these up at home, where are you supposed to learn them? This kind of upbringing equips you for the real world. Supportive families are also powerhouses for building self-esteem. They cheer you on. They notice your efforts and celebrate your successes, big or small. They encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and try new things. Crucially, they believe in your potential, even when you're struggling to believe in yourself. This consistent positive reinforcement helps you build a strong sense of self-worth. You start to internalize the message that you are capable, lovable, and deserving of good things in life. That's a game changer. When you grow up surrounded by this kind of positive support, you develop resilience. What's resilience? It's that ability to bounce back when life knocks you down. You understand that setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of the road. You face difficulties knowing deep down that you have the inner strength and the external support system to get through them. This creates a positive feedback loop for your mental health. It's about building that emotional muscle day by day with the unwavering support of your loved ones. Now, we have to get real about the other side of the coin. Not all family environments are nurturing. Sometimes family life can be a significant source of pain and can seriously harm your mental health. If your home is filled with constant arguing, criticism, or tension, it's like living in a psychological war zone. That kind of chronic stress puts your nervous system on high alert day in and day out. It wears you down emotionally and physically. This isn't just family drama, it's a direct assault on your well-being. Then there are toxic family dynamics. This is where things get really damaging. I'm talking about patterns like constant biting criticism that makes you feel worthless. Or maybe there's a culture of blame where one person is always the scapegoat for everyone else's problems. Perhaps there's manipulation, emotional blackmail, or a complete disregard for your feelings and boundaries. This kind of emotional abuse can leave deep scars. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and a whole host of other mental health struggles. It's not okay, and you don't have to just accept it. What about a lack of emotional support? This can be just as damaging as overt conflict. You might be going through something incredibly difficult, feeling overwhelmed or lost. But when you turn to your family, you find they're unavailable, dismissive, or they simply don't seem to care. Feeling unheard, unseen, and unimportant within your own family circle can lead to profound feelings of loneliness and isolation. Every human being has a fundamental need to feel validated and understood by the people closest to them. And let's not forget unpredictable or chaotic family environments. If you never know what to expect when you walk in the door, one day calm, the next an explosion of anger, you can never truly relax. This inconsistency creates a state of chronic anxiety and hypervigilance. Children growing up in such homes often have trouble trusting others and forming secure attachments later in life. They haven't learned that the world or even their own home can be a safe and stable place. This is serious stuff, and it has lasting effects. So you've recognized some issues. What now? Do you just throw your hands up? No, you don't. You start working towards change. And a huge part of that change comes down to communication. I'm talking about real communication, not just talking at each other. You have to learn to express your own needs and feelings honestly, but respectfully. And just as importantly, you have to learn to truly listen. Listen to understand, not just to respond or argue. This takes practice, it takes patience. But it's essential. Next up, you absolutely must establish and maintain healthy boundaries. What are boundaries? They are the limits you set on how others can treat you and what you will and won't accept. It's okay to say no. It's okay to protect your time, your energy, and your emotional space. Healthy families respect individual boundaries. This fosters mutual respect and reduces resentment. If your boundaries are constantly being violated, it's a breeding ground for conflict and unhappiness. You have a right to your own space and your own feelings. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, you need some outside help to navigate these tricky waters. And let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no shame in seeking professional help. Family therapy can be incredibly effective. A trained therapist can help your family identify those unhealthy patterns of interaction. They can teach you new, healthier ways to communicate and resolve conflicts. They provide a neutral, safe space where everyone can be heard. Viewing therapy as a sign of weakness is an old, outdated idea. It's a sign of strength and commitment. Ultimately, your family relationships have a profound and lasting impact on your mental health. There's no getting around that. They can be your greatest asset or your heaviest burden. But here's the empowering truth. You are not entirely powerless. You can take proactive steps to improve these dynamics. You can choose to communicate differently. You can choose to set boundaries. You can choose to seek help. Don't just passively accept a painful situation. Your mental well-being is far too important. It's time to get to work on building healthier, more supportive family bonds.